Today we're going to be talking about how to heal from a broken relationship, a breakup, and a divorce. So please stay tuned. Welcome to The Bold Encourager. I'm Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It just allows for me to get my positive, encouraging messages out to everyone. So today is Motivation Monday, and today we are talking about how to heal from a breakup. And so there are so many ways that we can do the healing process, but I'm going to go over some things that I think will be very helpful for you in the process, as I am a life coach, and I feel like these are times where I can really use the education I was given to share it with you and help you through your processes. So let's get ready and let's go ahead and start talking about this. So first off, I just want to say you need to give yourself time to heal. A lot of times, and this is obviously a given, you need time to heal. But a lot of times what we do when we are hurt and broken is that we look for a quick fix. And so what we tend to do is to jump into another relationship without being completely healed, which is not good for you in the healing process when you've had your heart broken. So I highly recommend that you give yourself time alone, to be by yourself, no dating, nothing, until you have been able to recover from all the brokenness, all the hurt. And there's a lot of pain. So first off, cry it out. Cry it out. Don't stop crying until you're done. And don't feel like you're weak for crying it out, because the quicker that you heal from this and cry it out, and that's the quicker you can move on. But you cannot move on unless you've cried it out. If you start ignoring the issues, the hurt, and not acknowledging the pain, you will continue to be broken. And so you must, importantly, cry it out, and you also must not ignore your emotions. And sometimes we express ourselves through anger, but do it in a healthy kind of manner. Don't start going off on people and breaking up other relationships or friendships because you're angry inside. So the most important thing is to feel the emotions, to be okay with being vulnerable, be okay with being able to cry it out, because that will make you stronger. A lot of times people think, oh, if you cry it out, you're not strong. You are strong, because you're letting the pain be processed, and you're allowing it to have its time, and you're allowing it to be taken out of you. So it's so important to just go ahead and feel the emotions and do it in a healthy manner and be able to address it so that you can move on. There's still pain there, and there's still somewhat of an attachment, and you still will have a hard time processing your breakup. So the thing that you have to do is give yourself enough time. So how do you do that? You're going to have to put yourself at a distance. No talking to the person, not seeing the person, not texting, not anything, for at least 6 months, or until those feelings are completely diminished. Because what will happen is, if you continue to speak to them, you'll rehash those old feelings, and they will reappear to yourself. To completely heal from them, you have to give yourself distance. You have to let them go for that amount of time. And then you can pick up after you've gotten past those months as friends, because then you're able to do it in a healthy way. And then you don't have to go in this reoccurring cycle, let's break up, get back together, break up, because that's what will happen. A lot of times it does. Not all the time, but most of the time. Another thing I have learned, and I've had a lot of breakups in my life, and I've gone through the rejection. I know what it's like to feel pain, and so I can tell you from experience, I know what that's like. But in every situation, I have learned from each relationship, and it has only made me grow into a better partner because of what I've learned in the previous relationships. And I can give you an example right off the bat. I was not a good communicator. Yeah, I got hurt. Yeah, they did some messed up things, but I did not communicate very well. And I know when you don't communicate very well, that can lead to a lot of, I'm almost going to say that conflict with that person. If you're not communicating, and you're not telling them how you feel, but then you act a certain way because you're angry and they have no idea, and you assume that they should know what you're thinking, that is when there's a huge issue, and it becomes a continued issue in your relationships. So you have to look and analyze, and this is why it's good to take that time away from having a relationship, so you can look at yourself and say, yes, they played a part and they did some wrong, but I also played a part and I did some wrong. It takes two to tango. So you have to look at the things that you may have done wrong in the relationship as well to become a better person to the next person. And the reason why I want you to do this is because I also want you to see what you were missing from that previous relationship. In every single relationship, there might be a need that was not met. And no relationship is perfect. There's no such thing. I'm giving the reality here. There is always going to be conflict in every relationship, but there are some that are just better than others, right? And so what you have to look at is when something ends and it didn't work out, it obviously was not meant to work out, but why? You can look at why, what happened, what was it lacking for you? And you're going to take that, and don't take it as baggage, but as knowledge to the next relationship, so you two can be a better partner to that person. And if it ends because someone cheated on you, or they just weren't good to you, if it was in that kind of negative connotation, what you can take away from it, not about what you did wrong in that situation. If they did that to you, that was bad on their part. They did something wrong on their part if they cheated on you or mistreated you or was abusive in any kind of way. But what you need to look at is, what didn't I get from that? What does this person have? And a lot of times you'll find yourself kind of dating the same person, but it's like they have the same characteristics because you're attracted to that. But you got to look at it's not worked every single time. And it's insanity if I continue this. Why do I keep getting attracted to this person? Why do I feel like I need this when I don't? Obviously, it's not working. So you got to look at it in those kind of eyes visually. And the reason why this is healing for you is because it's the takeaway of, oh, I didn't waste my time because it helped me grow in this area of who I am. It's helped me to become a better person in my next relationship. Don't take it as baggage, and don't let the next person feel the pain that you felt, because they should not know anything about that, because they're a different person. Everybody has baggage. We all know that. Everybody has baggage. So the thing is that you just not want to take that baggage and haul it into the next relationship, because what will happen is that will actually terminate that relationship. That will terminate it. So this is why the healing process is so important, and you going through, and I'm not saying to start going through this and processing it when you're hurting. I'm saying after you've gone through the crying out, the let me get through these emotions thing, and you've found a place of peace finally, and you're like, okay, I'm good now. Now let me look at what I can do better. Then you start to process it, and that is when you're getting yourself ready for the next relationship. So you're in a good place, and you can give that person what they need and what you need. It's a two-way street. You can't just expect that person to be Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. You have to be willing to do the work. There is no such thing as no work. Every relationship, of course in the beginning it's a little less work because you're having more fun, but every relationship requires work, especially if it's long lasting. So one thing I will say is, once you've gotten through and analyzed, now it's time to take yourself on a date. I did talk about this in a personal self-care video, but I do recommend you taking yourself on a date. You need to be okay with being by yourself, going on a dinner date by yourself, because if you're okay with who you are and yourself and your identity, you will bring so much to the next relationship. So go on a date. If you want to buy yourself flowers, or what would you want to see someone do for you on a date? What are you looking for? But you want to be able to go on yourself on a date and kind of experience what you would expect or hope for in someone. That is so important because it kind of defines how you want to be treated. And sometimes we don't even know how we want to be treated until we take that action of taking ourselves on a date. So it's super important. This will also be so important. Get to know yourself. Know your identity. A lot of times when we go relationship to relationship, we tend to forget who we are. And our identity is so important when you're getting into a relationship, because do not lose yourself in a relationship. Yeah, there will be a little bit of some change when you get in a relationship with someone, and you do need to partner with them and be together as a unit. And you are to become more like together when you do find that one. But in a sense, you do not want to lose yourself either, because that's who they fall in love with. That's who they truly respect, is who you are. And if you start to lose yourself and then lose the identity and not have a sense of who you are, they will lose respect for you. So super important to go into the relationship with your identity defined and be able to establish that. And also just have them add to your life. That's it, right? When you're finally ready to date, what are the deal breakers? There are gonna be some. There's no perfect person out there. So you gotta make them a little realistic here. You got to have some deal breakers, things that you just don't see yourself putting up with, and you cannot be okay with them. So once you've defined the deal breakers, things you just can't put up with, make them realistic, things that you will not be okay with, and when they're set in stone in that, do not back away from them, because you will not be happy in that relationship, because those are things that you cannot put up with. Be open to someone different. A lot of times people have a type and they go for the same type every single time, and then they have the same result, a failed relationship. Sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. Maybe your type is not the right person for you. Maybe your type is just the person that you're, I wouldn't say in love with, but I would say infatuated with. Somebody that you admire for who they are, but they are not a good relationship partner for you. They do not match you. They're not that match for you. So maybe, I don't say you have to be like somebody that you're not attracted to at all, but someone that's different what you particularly would date. Someone that would actually challenge you a little bit more to be better self of yourself. Because a lot of times when we get into relationships where we're not a little bit challenged, we cannot become even better versions of ourselves. And I think a lot of times if you're in the right relationship, you will become a better version of yourself. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is I really think the most important thing is when you get in a relationship, make sure they have the same relationship or almost similar life goals to yourself. Like, for instance, do they want to have kids? That's really important, because if you want to have kids and they don't, that's most likely not going to work. You have to really kind of acknowledge that you guys have the same type of relationship goals, almost similar. And because when commitment comes into play, it's what ultimately makes a commitment more successful. If you kind of have goals that you're going opposite ends, you most likely will not work out. So these are the things I wanted to say, because it's a process, and this is kind of like what you're going to have to go through. And the healing process is so important, so make that like your number one, and then go into really defining what you're looking for so that you can go into the new relationship and have success. I really want that for you, my friend, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Also, please comment down below what your favorite part of this video was. I'd love to hear from you. And if there was something I didn't mention, please go ahead and comment down below on that too. Every Monday, there will be a new Motivation Monday video at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. If you haven't followed me on social media, please go ahead and follow me on social media. I'm at The Bold Encourager on Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, and YouTube. And if you're on MeWe, it's Rebecca Mooney. The links will be down below. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you stay encouraged.